The NPSL season marches on. It is match day 3. It is the Annapolis Blues visiting FC Frederick. And folks, we're glad that you're able to join us here. Christian Taylor, Bo Eske here with me. First ever live stream in FC Frederick history, and it certainly will be a good one. First, let's look at the starting lineups for FC Frederick today, coached by the legend Rob Ryerson. And this is a team that's going to end up looking fairly defensive as this game may start. We'll see how they end up throwing things forward, but you got to look at the defense. Carson Grove, Johnny Indrenica, Dylan Nesteruk, Jonathan Yowell, Kyle Wagner. Those are all going to be some players who will be dropping in there. Cole Hellert, Daniel Ankra doing some things in the midfield. So too Kevin Pepra, Jack Mitzelfeld, and Robbie Ryerson. He's one of the guys up top who can really get things going as well. Good, decent bit of substitutes coming in off of the bench. FC Frederick are in the royal blue. It is Annapolis who are in the visiting whites. Bo Eske, what do you expect out of this one here today?
So, Christian, thanks. I can tell you the guys are super excited from the FC Frederick side of the house. This program has been, FC Frederick has been the NPSL. This is its 10th year. Last year, Annapolis Blues showed up and basically changed everything in our conference. The level of their team, the level of production at their home games, their live stream, all of it. And it's really raised the standard. So last year, when we played them at their place, we were actually up 2-1 in the second half and had a few things not go our way and ended up losing the match. So I know the guys are really pumped to play Annapolis, and Annapolis is going to be the team to beat this year in the conference for sure.
Yeah, this was a team who finished in first place last year, won the regular season. They went all the way through the tournament as well, beating the Alexandria Reds, ended up falling first round in the overall NPSL tournament to Westchester United. But what a great opening campaign for the Annapolis Blues. The fans, they're there and loud and proud, and they've made their way here for sure. First, let's take a look at our player to watch for FC Frederick. Again, they're going to be looking at the defense to try and get things going here today. Dylan Nesteruk, who is a senior out of UMBC, he will be looking to control things on that back line.
So we have, our team has, I would say we're at maybe 4 or 5 guys from UMBC, which is a fantastic Division I program. Dylan has had a fantastic career at UMBC. We didn't have him last year, and I think it impacted our ability to keep goals out of the net. The first 2 games, he's been the absolute leader, and I expect that to be the same this game.
Really did a nice job first growing his game under Pete Caringi there at UMBC, and again with Anthony Adams. It is Annapolis currently with the ball. We'll run through their starters real quick here. We'll go numerically. Luke Dunn wearing number 5. Nicholas Shirley wearing number 6. Alec Robleski, he's wearing number 7. Matias De Jesus wears number 10. Miles Avery, number 14. Maddie Helfrich wears number 16, Leo Palomo 19, Toshi Davis number 29, Brady Giho 34, and Taku Takahashi number 35. In goal is Owen Allegro. They are of course coached by Colin Harriot. And watch out here, a little bit of nervy moments as Frederick are adding a little bit of pressure here. On the left-hand side, looking to win it back was Robleski, who dropped back. It's another UMBC guy. So not only do FC Frederick have the UMBC guys, Annapolis do too. Robleski, who was starting this game for Annapolis. You also have to look at the bench. Still to come in, perhaps, will be Lak San, who also started his career at Loyola, too.
So one of the things about the NPSL level that's really, from my perspective, hits the sweet spot in American soccer is it's a platform that allows the very best college players, generally Division I, although some very talented Division IIs and IIIs as well, to get high-quality matches over the summer, along with aspiring young players, aspiring professionals. So it's a really interesting mix. Annapolis, I believe, had a couple of guys last year that ended up getting drafted or looks at the Major League Soccer. Our program's had 4 or 5 over the years. Some that have landed in the professional indoor space, but it's a really nice space for American players to continue the game over the summer, grow and improve, and enjoy it.
I mean, it really is. Just for maybe one example, down the road at Christos, used to be a member of the Mid-Atlantic Conference. Ben Bender played for Christos, got drafted #1 overall, playing with Charlotte.
Yes. And it's one of the things, you know, on the American soccer scene compared to other places around the world. There are gaps in the process for very talented American players to find their way to the pros. This, I think, fills a much-needed niche in American soccer to give these guys opportunities to play at a high level in the summer, get video clips, have scouts come and watch them, and see where it takes them.
And get the sense and the feeling of playing in front of big crowds.
Well, particularly if it's a home game. If it's a home game in Annapolis, for sure. This actually for us is a pretty nice crowd, and we're excited about it. But Annapolis absolutely sets the bar for that, and all we can all do is sort of try and emulate and improve, and maybe grow our numbers over time.
Folks, we're here at St. John's Catholic Prep, just stone's throw outside of Frederick, Maryland. It's been a good host here so far tonight as Annapolis try to maraud forward. There's an idea as Luke Dunn tries to appear, and brought back quickly to the goaltender, Noah Kump. Trying to outlet down the left-hand side, and it just exits play. Anything you've seen here in the first 5 minutes?
So what's happening now is there's just a little probing going on. Annapolis is trying to understand how Frederick is set up to see if what opportunities might be there. So there'll be a period, this is in some sense probably soccer fans' least favorite periods of games where teams aren't really pressing, aren't really driving forward, but they're really exploring right now to understand what they're up against and where the weaknesses are, and then decide from there what to do.
Lofted up towards the left-hand side and brought down fairly nicely. It is an opportunity here for Annapolis. Took a deflection, hits over top, corner kick.
So it'll be interesting to see. That ball was played big down the left side, and some quickness, got a nice shot off. That may be something that you see more of. If they have some success on the left side, we have a good player over there, but we'll see. They may continue to try and probe that area of the field.
Toshi Davis has a good bit of pace to him. He's a junior out of American University, hails from Baltimore. Finds De Jesus with the cross, and well done, sliding out for him. Quickly throwing it in again. Annapolis staying on the front foot here in the recent bits. Kicking it out, Jonathan Yowell, Mount St. Mary's man.
And so the player pool for FC Frederick is an interesting mix of guys. The closest Division I program to our program is Mount St. Mary's. And one of the interesting connections is Rob Ryerson was the head coach at Mount St. Mary's for many, many years, actually until, well, the school did away with the program. The soccer alumni were outraged, and I think it took 2 years to bring it back, and by that time Rob had moved on to some other endeavors, but he still maintains great relationships, and so every year we get a number of quality players from the mound.
Glazer being another one of those players. We've mentioned Jonathan Yowell. That's a team who were coached by Brian Cunningham for a while now. It's head coach Brett Teach who's going to be taking over this season there in Emmitsburg.
Correct.
And the whistle there, which will give Frederick the ball.
So one of the other things, Christian, that I personally think is interesting is you mentioned both Rob Ryerson and Colin Harriott, the coach of Annapolis. So in the Maryland soccer community, there are lots of interconnected pieces and relationships. So Rob and Colin are colleagues, but in the youth side of the game. So for them to do things in the youth space and then also have an opportunity to coach against each other at this level is an interesting little piece, and I know they enjoy it. They are certainly competing now, but they enjoy the relationship piece.
Oh, watch out here. Nearly fumbled in. Oh, and Allegro was out of his crease, as he has been this entire evening so far. And FC Frederick with really their first good chance of the game now.
That was, I would have to say that's uncharacteristic. That play was very unusual and almost resulted in an own goal. Just some miscommunication. I doubt we'll see much more of that, but that was a really good opportunity for Frederick.
Opportunity here as the cross comes in, headed towards the side of the net. Carson Grove with a beautiful curler in there.
So Carson's is a fun player to watch. He actually grew up playing youth soccer at FC Frederick. FC Frederick has a trailer that it moves equipment around, and Carson Grove's picture from when he was 8 years old is on the side of the trailer.
Oh my gosh.
He had a great career for the club, great high school career at TJ High School, and is playing at Christopher Newport, which is a nationally ranked power down in the peninsula area of Virginia.
That was a Christopher Newport team who won a coast-to-coast championship this year. Annapolis ball. Thrown in deep here. Decent backup happening. Tried to find his teammate in Luke Dunn. Out for a throw for Annapolis. By the way, that's Brady Guijo. He stands at 6'3", so you got to watch out for that stature in there.
Yeah, the size, his size, and where he's playing on the field, it poses some difficult matchups for Frederick. We'll see how that progresses in the game, if they can handle his athletic gifts as well as his soccer sense in that space.
Noah Kump able to call everybody off. Yeah, I believe the tallest defender that Frederick have put out there tonight, Johnny Andrenica, standing at about 6 foot even. Of course, Noah Kump is 6'3", the goalie, but defending-wise, Andrenica is the tallest.
Probably the biggest guy on the roster, unfortunately, is out this game for us. Leading scorer. I'm trying to. There's another good pass sequence.
Annapolis trying to find something, and they go down. That's Guijo who hits the deck. And so
to finish my thought, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time. So you have a geriatric color man with you, and sometimes we'll have a mental gap. But it's Seth Crabb. So Seth Crabb plays the 9, the center striker for Frederick. He's not here today, but when he's with the team, is a very big part of the offense. And in a way has a similar build to 34 on Annapolis.
Crabb has a couple of goals, or beg your pardon, a couple of assists already this season. Opportunity for the shot, and it's right into the hands of Noah Kump. So Annapolis getting a few early looks as this game has reached the 12th minute. Frederick, really their best look was a corner kick and a near mess up in the goalie spot. Offsides as Jack Mitzelfelt had the extra step.
Yep, that one was not close. He was offsides on that play for sure.
So Annapolis with the restart in their own area here. Both teams to start this season 2-0. Frederick with a win on May 18th against DMV Elite. That was a 2-1 win. And then beating Alexandria Rough Diamonds just a couple days ago, 5-1. And for Annapolis, they beat those Rough Diamonds 12-0 to start the season. Followed it up with a win on May 19th against Alexandria Reds.
Yeah, the Rough Diamonds are the newest team in the the Mid-Atlantic Conference, and this level, it's a high level, and it will take them a little bit to adjust. I think they have some pieces, but I'm sure the start they were looking for. You don't ordinarily see scores like that in the NPSL, but new teams don't ordinarily have to draw Annapolis as their first game.
Right.
So.
Certainly a rude awakening joining in. So once again, Annapolis holding true with this possession. Frederick calm, staying back just a little bit, not trying to push the envelope too much, but certainly making the right tackles when they need them. And now the Blues will try and sift through the defense. Kicked in towards Guijo's, trying to get the angle. He finds Robleski. Robleski hits that right foot, well blocked by Grove, and cleared away. Watch out here. Mitzelfeld had some pressure. Allegro, who is just playing so far up right now.
So, Christian, as I was moving around the stadium before coming up to the booth, it was exciting and encouraging and to see the Annapolis fans show up with banners and their jerseys. It's something in American soccer that you don't see as much as you would like, particularly at these levels. But what reminded me to mention that is there's an unusual guy for FC Frederick, who's the leader of a group called the Repudiators, which is the fan support group. And he essentially has no shame, and he'll beat a drum the entire game. And we'll see if the Annapolis guys have an answer to that in terms of their fan group.
Little tricky moment there at the end. It ends as a goal kick for FC Frederick to go. This passage of play is brought to you by Griffith Energy Services, your trusted partner for all your heating, cooling, and fuel needs. Whether you need reliable heating oil delivery, expert HVAC installation, or emergency repair services, Griffith Energy has got you covered. 15 minutes gone in this first half. Now, you were mentioning the Annapolis fans who made their way here. They were here early, for sure. They set up cornhole out there. They're playing a little bit of that. Here's another opportunity for Annapolis. Hit it in the middle. One-timer. Punching it in is Alec Robleski. And the Annapolis Blues take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Frederick's not going to be happy with that one. The breakdown, and then it was essentially a tap-in. It was very good execution by Annapolis for sure.
Well, Robleski was so brilliant in that game against the Alexandria Rough Diamonds. He had 5 goals in the second half alone. That's when he came on. But you see him sitting, waiting, and just how about the location of number 7. Pocket that one. It's a goal that Annapolis would have certainly felt on their end was coming. With all the pressure they had added on. Now Frederick looking for a response.
Yeah, it just looked like a missed assignment, and when that happens against a team that is very precise with their passing and runs, you can get a tap-in like that sometimes.
It's in.
Frederick start with it right after their restart. Yowell pass inside. This is Hellert. Reaches to the right. Ryerson trying to find something, lobs it in. It's a good deflection. Nicholas Shirley stood in the way, but not out of the danger area. Pepra now playing with it just a little bit and blocked by Toshi Davis, who was extremely integral in that goal. He had the assist to Robleski. Another corner kick coming up for Frederick. It's their second of the evening. Jonathan Yowell trying to show as the short corner, if you will, and they do find him. Kicks it in with that left foot and just angled too high.
Yeah, a bit high. Jonathan takes a lot of the restarts for Frederick. He can really hit a dead ball. That one obviously was moving just, I don't know, a foot or two above the bar, but sort of on target, just a little high. And Jonathan with his left is very dangerous.
So good. Mount St. Mary's, he can play a role of outside back and just wherever else they may need him to be. Looking to drag it in was Daniel Ankra, one of the veterans of this Frederick team, graduated from Loyola back in 2010.
Well,
now here's an opportunity.
Chance.
Mitzelfeld shoots and scores from distance. Took advantage of the goaltender being out, and Frederick responded immediately.
Really great finish. I mean, not dissimilar in a way to the goal scored by Annapolis. A breakdown and somebody taking a great opportunity to just put a goal away.
There it is. You just saw it. Fell into a good spot for him. He saw the net gaping, and this score is level at 1.
And this is Jack's third year for us, and every year he's come up with some big goals. He doesn't score buckets of goals, but every year he has a couple of big goals. He plays up at York College.
Yes, he does. Hailing from Westminster. That was a York team this year, went 6-7-3, 3-4 in MAC Commonwealth play. But that goal, so he's scored, as you mentioned, a few goals, but those couple of goals came in really quick succession. You got to look at that 2022 season. Scored goals about 30 seconds apart in that rallied win, 90 seconds apart in that rallied 4-3 win against First State FC. And you know that certainly feels good for him.
So if memory serves, the game last year at Navy Stadium against Annapolis, Annapolis scored first. Then the Frederick team equalized, and then Frederick went up 2-1, and then I think the final score was maybe 4-2 or something along those lines.
Yep.
But right now, the map is similar to what happened last year in terms of their first score and Frederick equalized.
Well, it certainly looks like Frederick have grown into this game just a little bit more. Now they're enjoying a little spell of possession. Kyle Wagner pooching it forward, and Owen Allegro is there to claim.
So the Frederick guys know the level of the Annapolis team. They're confident. The Frederick guys are confident, but they are very respectful. But what I would say is if this game continues like this, let's say relative balance with maybe a few more chances by Annapolis, I think the confidence of the Frederick guys will grow. And then what will, I think, play a big role is how substitutions are handled in the second half and who comes in and can be a potential difference maker and that sort of thing.
Well, certainly I had the chance to talk with head coach Rob Ryerson before this game. He does anticipate trying to play everybody in this game, and it's something that you can test to as well, but a big reason why FC Frederick is here too, and Rob Ryerson was telling me, was wants an opportunity for some of these guys to grow, get better, but to have some fun while doing it here in the summer and just do a lot of good things. And here's a good chance for Annapolis as it's kicked out.
Absolutely. I mean, so our roster is essentially, I would say, 90% college guys, with a few guys that are out of college. The point of this for everyone is to stay fit and stay on top of their game during the summer to be ready for their season that starts in the fall. We had something like, 85, 90 guys come out to try out. A lot of guys we reached out to individually. But we are deep. Rob can play quality players all the way down his 18-man roster. The wrinkle to the NPSL, for people familiar with the college game, is once you leave the game, you can't go back in. So it's really, coaches really have to think about when to make substitutions. And generally, you rarely see a sub in the first half unless maybe an injury or if someone's just really, really playing bad, I guess. But it doesn't happen that often. So it's really about managing the second half.
Free kick for Annapolis. Matias De Jesus looking at it. Instead, it's thrown in by Takahashi. Yes.
There for Annapolis.
Kump able to stand in the way.
Yeah, it was a good positioning, and he held on to it.
There's that header. Kehoe's been a problem so far. Oh, that's a great little deke by Ankra, and he senses that he's got a teammate. Not quite on target, but a decent idea. That's some experience right there. Able to deke out De Jesus. That is a pretty significant age gap between the two.
Well, that's actually one of the exciting pieces of this for younger players, is the opportunity to be around very experienced guys and learn from them and see how they carry themselves on the field, see how they understand the rhythm of the game, whether they need to press, whether they need to hold, sit back.
Coach Ryerson was mentioning how he's coached against Danny Ankra in the past. Clubs have played against each other too. Some youth clubs, that is, at least. But he's been listed as a smart, tactical leader. He says he may not necessarily have all the athletic components that maybe a current Division I player would have, but is extremely necessary. Going to play a good 45 minutes for you out there. Will give you everything he has. And he just, again, has that extra step mentally above a lot of players who are still learning the game.
Well, Rob has an amazing eye for talent. One of the things that he is still a part of, this is a really neat opportunity here.
It's thrown to the left side for Kevin Pepra, and Frederick are on the break. Pepra shoots this one up. And how about Allegro sticking out that hand?
Frederick did a great job to find that opening on the left side with Pepra. But so Rob is also a scout for the U.S. men's national team program. He and his brothers, the Ryerson name is very well known throughout soccer circles in the U.S. They sort of came out of the Columbia, Maryland area. Rob and his younger brother Richie both played at UNLV. Youngest brother Tim, I think, played there some, and also at UMBC. And then Rob has been playing, and he played, for a number of years after his college team, but coached at the Mount, and been running. He was involved with Potomac Soccer, a youth club, as well as the club he runs, Ellicott City. So he's around players all the time, and that's part of the art of building an NPSL roster, is being aware of good players that are in the Maryland area that would help your team.
Watch out, another chance that Allegro just gets rid of. Kehoe hoped that he had somebody behind him. Wasn't really the case. 26 minutes played in this first half. Headed by Carson Grove. So to get up Pepra. Well, this game started with a goal for Alec Robleski. Scored in the 16th minute. 3 minutes later, Jack Mitzelfeld leveled things up at one apiece, shooting it from just at the edge of the box. That is where things stand right now. Here at St. John's Catholic Prep, just outside of Frederick.
I think one of the keys you'll see throughout this match is Cole Hellich's play. Cole wasn't with us last year, but he was with us 2 years before that. And it's interesting, he's a Northern Virginia guy and was just not excited about the opportunities for him there at this level, and found us. And he's just a workhorse. He's tenacious. He never slows down. Has had a great career up at Siena. And if he can keep the engine going the entire game, it's going to be a big part of FC Frederick's, let's say, potential success.
Yes. Well, you saw the keys to the game there. One thing that Coach Ryerson wanted to get his defense to do is just defend well against these really good attackers for Annapolis. They wanted to make sure they were very good on set pieces, offensively and defensively, and finish their opportunities, which so far they have. They've scored on the really one good look that Mitzelfeld is able to pocket from distance. Into the center for Carson Grove. Mitzelfeld, who has been involved so much, finding Ryerson here on the right flank. curls it in. Allegro had a good read. And will clear his lines. Allegro playing D3 over at Catholic. He was the Landmark Conference Rookie of the Year this season. It's a Catholic team that beat Lycoming in the Landmark Conference Final, ended up losing first round in the NCAA tournament. It was really impressive over there.
One of the interesting things about the NPSL, the time frame for the league is very contained. It essentially starts in mid-May and is more or less over mid-June, depending on what your playoff run looks like. So it's a lot of games to get in a short period of time. And then the other wrinkle to it is because most teams have a large number of Division I college guys, the question of when you start to get access to them is a real issue. So Rob and Colin Harriet both have had to kind of understand like when schools' final exam periods are, for example, to know who's available for different games.
Watch out, lobbed in, another chance for Annapolis, and missing the touch was Robleski.
Okay, I was going to say, it looked like he was offsides, and the linesman did raise his flag, so.
Perhaps a little something that was in the back of his mind, too.
Well, I think he still probably would have liked a better finish there, because if the flag hadn't gone up, that should have been a goal.
Frederick dealing with it, trying to build out of the back, and a skip over by Grove. Annapolis taking advantage of it. Eddie Helfrich is a Georgetown guy. Did not play this season, but had a lot of success over with Bethesda. MLS Next.
So there you have Cole Heller, just one ball. He's a lunch pill kind of guy in the midfield.
Ryerson looking from distance, too! Oh, he's gotten that one!
That is a special moment for Robbie Ryerson right there.
2-1 for Frederick.
So the lesson is for attacking players, always understand where the goalkeeper is. Robbie glanced up, saw he was off his line, and tried a floater, and brilliant strike.
So twice Frederick have gotten Allegro well outside his crease, and that is how their 2 goals have come, and they now have a 2-1 lead. Robbie Ryerson just scored his first Frederick goal 2 days ago. He's got another.
Robbie's one of our exciting young players, a great youth player, getting good minutes and opportunities at UMBC. I don't know if this would be accurate, but that could be the biggest goal he's scored yet in his young career, because it was pretty special against a team like this.
Not to mention, so down to earth, such a nice kid, was raised well by his father, and certainly loves this game, that is for sure.
Yeah, one of the things, having known, so Rob and I are essentially the same generation. I'm the same age as his younger brother, Richie, who is a fantastically talented player. So knowing both Rob as a player and Robbie, Robbie is a lot quicker and faster. Rob may pull me aside after the game. We'll see. He may not like that comment, but I think it's probably true. But again, just a special moment. I mean, you glance up, you see where the keeper is, you drive a ball, it's hit well, and you float it right into the crossbar. Just a fantastic goal.
Robbie Ryerson playing over at UMBC, just finished up a sophomore campaign. Had just 5 games in that first year, but increased a little bit this season. Got a couple of starts, couple of assists to his name as well. First year under head coach Anthony Adams. And Drenica did well under a little bit of duress. And it was Ankara who got it out of his feet quickly. Now it's Wagner on the right side.
So, it's kind of a testament to the level of the guys, because it's an attractive game. The ball is being moved around. There's some opportunities. clean passing generally, and the teams really have not had that many opportunities to train together. I would say maybe it's 10 sessions total. But when you have good players that know how to play the game and are not that far removed for their spring season, you can have a pretty nice product on the field.
Goal kick here. Yeah, what Coach Ryerson said about the trainings is they're fun, intense, but very fun, and it puts them into a spot like this.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, Sir Rob is the director of a youth club, and
Ellicott City.
Working with youth, it's a lot of fun, and it's great to develop players. But I think for Rob, this hits a sweet spot.
Annapolis have an opportunity here. They go across goal.
Really
just missing it is Toshi Davis.
I think there's a piece of this level that will remind Rob of the Mount, or when he's in with the national team working those guys, that it's just exciting to get back to this level of athleticism, this level of talent, and try and build a team in kind of unusual circumstances. Not a lot of time, and then you're playing.
And not to mention, he just was named the new head coach of Howard Community College.
That's correct. That's correct. He's excited about that, too.
Oh, they were trying to look again from distance. Jonathan Yowell, he maybe would have had a chance, but it was Matty Helfrich who came across. Corner kick for Frederick, 35th minute.
Jonathan, in that play, he glanced up again like Robbie did. I think this is going to be a little bit of a theme for the Frederick guys. They're going to start checking to see where Annapolis goalkeeper is, and take some chances with those lofted balls.
They've certainly been adventurous tonight. Pepra trying to stay on the ball here. Can Annapolis break? Not quite. Ankra so strong with it. Kicked out to the right side. Now the Blues, they have maybe a couple numbers if they can get them forward here. And cross field to Giho. Looks like slow to get up on the other end was Mitzelfelt. He is back to his feet. Meanwhile, on the other end, it is Helfrich sliding out. Carson Grove.
It's a good play by Carson. Tough matchup, and he timed his slide well to knock it out of bounds.
Corner kick for Annapolis. Toshi Davis will try and serve this in. As Frederick, again, trying to hold tight on defensive set pieces. Chance to do so here. Davis will keep it short. De Jesus. Davis again, got a good left foot. Lots of space here at the edge of the box. Very patient with it. De Jesus across and batted in for another equalizer. And it is Giho to make it 2-2.
Goal for Annapolis.
It was a great finish. They did a nice job with, let's say, an unconventional corner kick play. Slid it around, got it to the top of the box, played it back wide, and a really nice low ball across the face of the goal that they got to. It was a nice play.
Extremely patient in the way they went about things there. Just peppered it to each side of that box and forced the issue there on the goal line. 2-2, 4 goals combined here now between the two teams.
I mean, this is where you wish this was pay-per-view. It's a very exciting match.
Mitzelfelt tripped up, play continuing. He was just down the other end moments ago. He had struggled to get back to his feet. He's back to his feet again here, but he's gone through the ringer in the last 3 minutes. Well, we mentioned, the first 5-10 minutes was slow. It was trying to figure out what the pace was going to be, where the spacing was. Once Annapolis got that first goal, it all changed. Everybody now scoring.
No, it's a spot-on observation. I mean, and it's not surprising. That period of time where you're sort of, it seems a little slow, you're checking things out here and there. Once you start to find some things, then the guys, they do want to play. Right, so nobody really likes the probing time frame of the game, but now it's opening up, and I think you're going to see it even more in the second half, because then what happens is fatigue, legs start to get tired, and both of these teams are capable of getting forward.
And certainly with the subs that these teams have brought. Can do anything at any time of this game. De Jesus, he's been fairly good today. Wearing the captain's armband, sophomore out of Maryland. This year played 7 games with the Terps. He's going to need to be careful with this one, Nesaruk. And turns around nicely. Frederick throw here, 39th minute, 2-2. Here at St. John's Catholic Prep. Very good crowd on hand here tonight. All along the fence you see below, stands are pretty full. Annapolis fans, as we mentioned, good handful of them making their way up. I think we also have to give a shout out to the watch party that's happening at Forward Brewing in Annapolis. I appreciate all you tuning in as well.
Those of you at the Forward Brewing watch party, I'd invite you all to pull up the game on your individual devices, and that'll boost our viewership.
Getting fairly close to halftime. Bring in that little moment. Final 5 minutes of the first half. Always important. Same thing with the first 5 minutes of the second half. Where things can start to happen. Some tricky things. Robleski has found it. And I'll tell you what. Just another good idea on that left-hand side. Annapolis playing a little bit here with it. Quick little undercut by Takahashi. Doesn't quite find him. Helfrich sticks out that right boot. Frederick ball.
Well, we've got about 5-ish minutes left. If you had asked me at the beginning of this broadcast that we'd have seen a 2-2 first half, I would have highly doubted that. But it's great for the fans. It's an exciting game.
It's been really good and certainly sets the table for another fun second 45. Annapolis with a free kick. Right in front of head coach for Frederick, Rob Ryerson. There's Takahashi. Annapolis has really had the possession for most of this game. Frederick have been able to get their few goals, some nice counters, some good looks to try and beat the keeper from distance. Annapolis have been able to have some time with the ball on this end. Be a throw for the Blues. Sliding out there is Ryerson as he tries to just fire it as far as he can.
Pretty sure it wasn't a shot. I think it was best to just get it into the other end so that Frederick could regroup.
Or at least try to chase down that ball.
Yeah.
Good turn and stepping on the foot there.
So that's Cole Hellert again, just an engine. That's a lot of work to pressure. And he's a midfielder to pressure that high up.
Long time Frederick man. All NPSL Mid-Atlantic 11 as a defender back in 2022. Been the most recent honoree that FC Frederick have put together. Led the team with 4 assists there in that 2022 season. Quickly over the head of Nicholas Shirley.
And it's interesting about Cole. His first 2 seasons with us, we didn't really think of him as a scorer, but he's gotten a goal in both games so far this season, and he plays a little deeper in the midfield. He's not the 10, he's more the 8, so he's kind of the box-to-box guy. This is a good chance.
Takahashi nearly taken off the ball, pivoted a little bit, but things all calm. But yes, Cole Hellert, senior out of Siena, does so many things. This season with the Saints, it was a little unfortunate. He played 6 games, started 5, played until September 19th, and missed the rest of the season with an injury, and still missed a little bit of that spring season too. But this is just another wonderful opportunity for him to get just a little bit stronger for the year upcoming.
that play right there by Annapolis, Colin's not going to be happy with that. That is overly risky for no good reason, really.
Davis. More Annapolis possession with 2 minutes to go before we reach 45. And, of course, added minutes. Oh, good little step out by Kevin Pepra. You know, he plays over at Ryder. It's a Ryder team that went to the NCAA tournament. Actually lost to Vermont. Look out! All of a sudden it had fell in the path of Dunn.
Dodged a bullet. Ball took an unusual bounce, kind of spinning, and they're lucky that that shot was off.
Ball that was just spinning in a very weird way, and Dunn almost made them pay for it. Just finished up a freshman campaign over at Boston University, Luke Dunn. One minute to go before reach 45. Pepra lunging into it, and it falls in the path of Leo Palomo, another American guy. Guijo has the most recent goal here for Annapolis. De Jesus back out to Guijo. A little bit of helter-skelter right now, but it's fallen now for the Blues again. Davis in! Looks like it maybe hit off the field goal post.
It hit the top of the crossbar and then bounced against the field goal, so that's out of bounds. But Annapolis is showing some incredible poise in front of, I would say, from 25 yards in to the goal. They're very calm. They're not getting nervous or rattled and just hitting shots. They're really thinking about where the ball needs to go to maximize the opportunity, and they're executing very well.
I feel like what you said, calm, is maybe the perfect description of it. They haven't looked hustled. They haven't looked nervous. Looks like they know what they're doing there.
It's a really important quality in the attacking third, and not everybody has it. You know, everybody knows the importance of goals, so sometimes attacking players find the ball and they know it's a shot and they hit it, and, you know, maybe just a little bit of patience, a deep breath, and then one more pass, and it's an easy goal. But Annapolis definitely seems to be very comfortable with that game, that aspect of the game.
So a bit of a mistake for Annapolis as they kick it out of bounds. Frederick looking for just one more intervention before halftime, but that one lands in the stands. Glad you've been with us here tonight. Christian Taylor, Bo Eske here with you. 2-2 so far, getting awfully close to halftime. We've already reached the 45. 46 minutes have gone. Now it's run in here for Hellert, looking for Robbie Ryerson on the right side. Ryerson looking to deal with it. Gets a nice pass off to Hellert. Now Yowell.
Yeah, here's where you'll see kind of a noticeable difference between the teams. The Annapolis team in this exact situation would probably have 3 or 4 tight passes and then a high-quality shot. Frederick is trying to figure it out a little bit. Now, again, one of their key guys isn't available today, and sometimes a key guy can make all the difference in the world. Now, there's many different ways to score, but the way Annapolis is creating chances is just kind of a different level. The way they're breaking them down with short passes, 25 yards in.
In-swinger for the corner. It's gone deep here, headed into the danger area. Watch out here for Pepra. And a line drive. He's asking that there was another touch in there. Head referee says, nope, just a goal kick. And that will conclude the opening 45 minutes. It started with a goal for Alec Robleski in the 16th minute, really to get things going. Answering was Jack Mitzelfelt in the 19th minute, shooting it from just outside the box. It was then Robbie Ryerson shooting from even further out to go 2-1 up for Frederick. And then Brady Guijo in the 37th, making it 2-2. Tonight's game is brought to you by Griffith Energy Services, your trusted partner for all your heating, cooling, and fuel needs. Whether you need reliable heating, oil delivery, expert HVAC installation or emergency repair services, Griffith Energy has got you covered. Stay comfortable all year round with our top-notch customer service and unbeatable expertise. Visit GriffithEnergyServices.com to learn more. That's GriffithEnergyServices.com. Stay warm, stay cool, stay comfortable with Griffith Energy Services. And so, after the first 45 minutes, FC Frederick 2, Annapolis Blues 2. It's been a good one. Excited to see what the second 45 is going to bring. We'll break here for halftime. Stay with us here.
Hello, I'm Jackie Eske. I'm the Academy 1 Director for FC Frederick. The age groups in our Academy 1 are our U5 all the way through our U9. So it covers 5 age groups for the Academy 1 program. One of the unique things in the Academy 1 program is the development of coaches, a little bit different than any other part of the club. We rely exclusively on volunteer coaches, and then I will start getting them acclimated with coaching youth, which is a big difference than probably the experience that they have with the game.
My name is Tim Ennis. I have 2 sons in the FC Frederick Club. A couple of seasons ago, Coach Jackie brought me in to help coach the Academy kids. I really loved the experience. It's been so much fun being out here with the kids week after week, seeing them improve as soccer players, seeing the team improve. Look forward to being able to be with the program in the future.
Hi, I'm Dan Mulcahy. I have 2 sons in the Academy 1 program. So I've coached at the club and high school level. I played at Loyola University. Obviously, I'm a parent, but because I have some experience playing and coaching soccer, I, of course, volunteered my services to help coach. I think just the fact that every kid has a ball, every kid's on the field, everyone's playing all of the time. We keep the kids moving. There's not a lot of sitting around and listening to coach draw up X's and O's on a chalkboard. At this age, that's just a waste of time. They really should just be playing and exploring and finding a love for the game. That's really what we're doing here, which is great.
We try to catch them being good is the term that we use. Use positive influence to make them feel confident. We've been very successful over these years. A lot of our coaches came in, had some interest in the game, and have gone forward and gotten their national Ds, their national Cs, and a couple their national Bs.
As far as this club goes, you're not really going to find a better sort of coaching format or playing format for little kids and their development as a player. My sons especially are excited about doing the moves and sort of built-in self-challenge opportunities that the club provides with their curriculum. So yeah, overall it's just been a really great experience as a parent and as a volunteer coach.
We've created very specific curriculums for each age group, as opposed to just kind of taking general guidelines. For example, like U8, let's play 4v4, where now we have benchmarks that we want to see with each age group. We're making sure they're meeting those benchmarks.
Is really great with both teaching kids how to be better soccer players as individuals and how to grow together as a team.
We're super excited because the numbers are growing fantastically. We've almost doubled in size in the past 2 years in our academy, and we're really producing great kids that are going forward into our upper level.
Hello, this is Chuck Homey. I'm the Marcus Mercersburg Camp Director, coming to you with another great camp this year, 2023, here at the beautiful Mercersburg Academy. This year, we're excited. We've set a camp record. We have 123 campers here, 20 staff members from the club, which is just fantastic. We're excited to be here. It's a beautiful facility, great dorms, dining hall is awesome. The soccer facilities are second to none. Indoor facilities, the natatorium, the kids get to experience all of these things.
The camp has been really fun so far. Like, it's not just soccer, it's a bunch of fun activities for the kids to do. Swimming, tie-dyeing shirts. They're gonna have a competition later for who has the cleanest room.
There's a ton of different games and drills that help you improve your soccer skills. The coaches and counselors here are super nice and helpful and help you and improve your game.
We just finished tie-dyeing. You get to take back a shirt, and it's kind of like a souvenir and a memory from having fun at Mercersburg.
We get to take a break from doing soccer, and we just get to hang out with our friends.
Yeah, it's also a time to talk with friends and figure out what kind of skits you're doing.
So the best part of camp in general is when you're hanging out with your friends and having a good time. And when you're at the session, you get to learn more about soccer than you would it's like you were just sitting at home.
Today is the Mercersburg Skills Fest morning. Kids have a lot of fun with this. It consists of 5 competitions, which they all love to do. We've got power shot, we've got slalom dribbling, we've got speed juggling, we've got soccer golf, and we've also got freestyle moves, which everybody really, really loves. It gives them all an opportunity to try different things. We've already gotten juggling records this morning, and they have a lot of fun. There's a lot of excitement for it.
It's also really fun to see how competitive the kids are, just like laughing and cheering each other on, but wanting to get the best score.
Skills Fest was so fun. My particular favorite was the shooting. I like the shooting ball. That's wrong. Yeah, I like the freestyle.
We're here at the annual bathing part of the camp. This is a lot of fun. It's the makeshift slip and slide down the hill here. The kids absolutely love it.
Behind us is an awesome slip and slide that all of us just went down. It's incredibly fun!
We wrapped up last night with our FCF Broadway night and all of our skits, which were amazing. All the campers did a great job, had a blast, had a lot of fun. We had an awesome counselor skit as well.
All the skits last night were super funny, and everybody enjoyed making them.
We're out here on the last day. Once again, the counselors won. It's a pretty commanding victory. I had most assists in that game, so I'm proud of that.
Unfortunately, I hit the post. I'm still a little upset about that, but I'll get over it.
We're going to finish up here soon and give prizes out for our campers of the week and our futsal winners and mini tournament winners and all sorts of things like that. And as you can see, we're here at a beautiful place with beautiful grass fields and excellent players, and it's really just been a top-of-the-line week here at Mercersburg.
Everybody's having a great time when they're here, so it's just really fun.
It's a lot of fun, the food is great, and I think everybody should come and enjoy it.
The best part about camp is we get to share it with our friends! Yay!
And we hope everybody comes back next year.
One of the things that we are, as a staff, as an organization, very proud of is our commitment to bringing high-quality, experienced coaches in to work with our teams and players, and also the commitment that the club has towards those coaches in terms of coaching education and helping them advance their own coaching knowledge. So currently in the club, we have between 60 and 65 licensed coaches. In the U.S. youth soccer world, you can have different licensing levels. The highest level is A license, then B license, C license, D license. We have, I believe we're at 3 or 4 A licenses. We have, I think it's 8 B licenses, 10, 12, 13 C licenses, and then the rest D licenses. That level of commitment to get a license, you're giving up weekends and weeks, and you're doing virtual learning, and you are getting evaluated via video and in person about how you're handling kids and running sessions. So it's a big commitment, and to have that many licensed coaches is something that we're proud of. Every year we take a range of 20 to 30 coaches to the United Soccer Coaches Convention. This past year it happened to be in Philadelphia. We were informed that we had got more coaches than any other club in the country, which is sort of strange, being in a relatively small community here in Frederick, Maryland. And things like that cost money, but we know that investment in what the coaches and the coaches' learning and education brings back so many benefits to the families that are involved in our organization.
Hello, I'm Jackie Eske. I'm the Academy 1 director for FC Frederick. The age groups in our Academy 1 are our U5 all the way through our U9. So it covers 5 age groups for the Academy 1 program. One of the unique things in the Academy 1 program is the development of coaches, a little bit different than any other part of the club. We rely exclusively on volunteer coaches, and then I will start getting them acclimated to coaching youth, which is a big difference than probably the experience that they have with the game.
My name is Tim. I have 2 sons in the FC Frederick club. A couple of seasons ago, Coach Jackie brought me in to help coach the academy kids. I really loved the experience. It's been so much fun being out here with the kids week after week, seeing them improve as soccer players, seeing the team improve. Look forward to being able to be with the program in the future.
Hi, I'm Dan Mulcahy. I have two sons in the Academy One program. So I've coached at the club and high school level. I played at Loyola University. Obviously, I'm a parent, but because I have experience playing and coaching soccer, I, of course, volunteered my services to help coach. I think just the fact that every kid has a ball, every kid's on the field, everyone's playing all of the time. We keep kids moving. There's not a lot of sitting around and listening to coach draw up X's and O's on a chalkboard. At this age, that's just a waste of time. They really should just be playing and exploring and finding a love for the game, and that's really what we're doing here, which is great.
We try to catch them being good is the term that we use. Use positive influence to make them feel confident. We've been very successful over these years. A lot of our coaches came in, had some interest in the game, and have gone forward and gotten their national Bs, their national Cs, and a couple of their national Bs.
As far as this club goes, you're not really going to find a better sort of coaching format or playing format for little kids and their development as a player. My sons especially are excited about doing the moves and sort of built-in self-challenge opportunities that the club provides with their curriculum. So yeah, overall it's just been a really great experience as a parent and as a volunteer coach.
We've created very specific curriculums for each age group as opposed to just kind of taking general guidelines. For example, like U8's Let's Play 4v4, where now we have benchmarks that we want to see with each age group. We're making sure they're meeting those benchmarks, and we're constantly adjusting it so that it is working well with the kids.
The club is really great with both teaching kids how to be better soccer players as individuals and how to grow together as a team.
We're super excited because the numbers are growing fantastically. We've almost doubled in size in the past 2 years in our academy, and we're really producing great kids that are going forward into our upper level.
Hello, this is Chuck Homey. I'm the Marvelous Mercersburg Camp Director, coming to you with another great camp this year, 2023, here at the beautiful Mercersburg Academy. This year, we're excited. We've set a camp record. We have 123 campers here, 20 staff members from the club, which is just fantastic. We're excited to be here. It's a beautiful facility. Dorms, dining hall is awesome. The soccer facilities are indoor facilities, the natatorium. The kids get to experience all of these things.
Camp has been really fun so far. Like, it's not just soccer. There's a bunch of fun activities for the kids to do. Swimming, tie-dyeing shirts. They're going to have a competition later for who has the cleanest room.
There's a ton of different games and drills that help you improve your soccer skills. The coaches and counselors here are super nice and helpful and help you and improve your game.
We just finished tie-dyeing. You get to take back a shirt, and it's kind of like a souvenir and a memory from having fun at Mercersburg.
We get to take a break from doing soccer, and we just get to hang out with our friends.
Yeah, it's also a time to talk with your friends and figure out like what kind of skits you're doing.
So the best part about camp in general is when you're just hanging out with your friends and having a good time. And when you're at the session, you get to learn more about soccer than you would if like you were just sitting at home.
Today is the Mercersburg Skills Fest morning. Kids have a lot of fun with this. It consists of 5 competitions, which they all like to do. We've got power shot, we've got slalom dribbling, we've got speed juggling, we've got
Teams are out, ready to start the second half. 2-2 between FC Frederick and Annapolis Blues. Christian Taylor, Bo S.A. here with you. Been very excited between the two teams, 2 goals each, and certainly were some pretty nice ones, but the team switched sides. Annapolis are in the white, moving from right to left now. Frederick in the blue, moving from left to right. I wanted to just ask you your overall thoughts from that the overall opening 45 minutes of this game.
So, unsurprisingly, impressed with Annapolis in a particular area of the field. The top third, the 25, 30 yards closest to FC Frederick's goal, they're very precise, they're very poised, they're very calm, and it's going to continue to be problematic for FC Frederick. On the other hand, I can't imagine that when they were modeling this game, that they had thought it could be a 2-2 tie, or that they might actually have been down in the first half. So I like the energy. I like the awareness. Again, I'll come back to Robbie Ryerson's goal to get his head up and send a 35, 40-yard floater in. Just very heady play. So positives for both teams. I think what's really going to be interesting is how the coaches decide to bring in their substitutions and how those subs impact the game.
Well, so far, doesn't look to really be any changes for either of these two sides right now. The first half stats, shots were 10-8 for Annapolis, saves 4-2, 4 more for Frederick, 6 fouled for Frederick, 2 for Annapolis. The corners were 5 for Frederick, 2 for Annapolis, and both teams had 1 offsides. You saw the early offsides to Alec Robleski to start off this second half, as both teams try to vie for their own extra edge here in the start of the second. Glad you're all with us here tonight, folks, on YouTube. First ever live stream in FC Frederick history. Been a very nice and storied history. Certainly a lot here in this Mid-Atlantic Conference.
Miles, get ready!
And now able to add this into it. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And Christian, I'm glad you mentioned it because the interesting thing about the NPSL space, we're watching a very high-level game with very good players, a lot of talent on the field, but it occupies a space that probably many people in the U.S. aren't familiar with in terms of the work that has to go in to make these things happen. So you mentioned, FC Frederick's been in this league for 10 years, and
well defended
there. This is the first time the organization has been able to put together a live stream of this quality. And what's happening is the NPSL, as a league structure, is asking its member clubs to try and upgrade different aspects of the product that they're putting out to fans. And honestly, some of it is because clubs like Annapolis have come onto the scene and are showing people what's possible. So everybody's trying to do a little bit more. For this club, I'm just thrilled. As we're talking, I'm obviously watching the stream and the camera work, and it's just very, very professional. We're excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, we got some pros here. Firstly, the camera operators, Zach McClung, Terry McClung, they work all over. They work with the Baltimore Orioles. They do stuff at Loyola as well. I have the pleasure of working with them over at Loyola, and it's a great crew certainly working here. And then, of course, the producer, director, everything in between, Mr. Paul Garza, who does everything behind the scenes, works with us really nicely, and is able to put on a good show each and every time. So we really appreciate all their work here tonight.
Well, I will tell you that this is not it's not data-driven, it's anecdotal, but I've gotten more texts during this live stream than I think I ever have for one of our NPSL games. A lot of people are watching the stream and are really impressed with, like you said, the camera work, your play-by-play, all of it. And so I'm excited for our organization. I'm excited for the league, and we'll just keep enjoying it.
Annapolis looking to strike here off the right side. Luke Dunn had an opportunity and decent effort on the left side by Robleski just to try and keep it in. Couldn't do so. And Frederick have an opportunity, although Ankara kept in a straitjacket. It's found De Jesus now at the edge of the box. Robleski tries to go a quick 1-2, is held away just a little bit, I believe, by Ankara. And it held off Robleski just barely, but a corner kick coming for the Blues.
One of the other observations, and I'm going to swing it back to Colin Harriet for a little bit. So Colin's day job is he is a very accomplished director at a very well-known club, Maryland United. And for those of us that operate in the youth space and then dip our toes in the water at this level, it's really nice to be able to connect the dots. So in the case of our organization, we're a youth club, and this is the top of the pyramid. So if I don't know that the stream is capturing it, but the field is lined with kids in pink pennies that are the ball boys that are on our teams that race back from their tournament games this weekend to see this and be a part of it. And I walked down the sideline, asked them if they were having fun, and they were like, "This is awesome." So we're excited about that. And again, for Colin, Harriet, and the Maryland United guys, I know Maryland United teams support the Annapolis Blues. Colin Harriet, I remember when he first sort of showed up on the scene in the youth game under the mentorship of a very well-known guy in that part of the world, Pat Noel, who runs a great club over at Maryland United. And so, it's, again, fun to see the club ties to this level of play.
Yeah, you just saw some of the youth players all out. I mean, they're lined, as you mentioned. They're ready to throw that ball back in or fetch it wherever it may need to go. Played 6 minutes here in this second half. 2-2 the score between Frederick and Annapolis. Annapolis have knocked at the edge of the final third, and they've certified their possession in this game. Trying to add a little bit more onto this here. Looking to put their foot on the gas pedal. Kind of a similar start to this second half as it was in the first half.
Yeah, and I would say in about 10 minutes' time, max, you're going to start to see some new guys introduced to the game, some subs coming in. It's very hot tonight, and the guys on both teams are working very hard. So fatigue is starting to show. You can just sort of look at some of the guys kind of leaning over, trying to catch their breath. So subs, I think, are coming, and this period here is going to be kind of dangerous, where fatigue is floating around, and can you be technical while you're tired and make good decisions? We'll see.
Intervention made by Jonathan Yowell. There'll be a second straight corner for Annapolis. Dylan Nestoruk was the one who had a slight touch to force the first one. They might try and go long this time round. Matias De Jesus will dial one in, headed around. Not a bad idea. Miles Avery was in there.
So that run to the near post with the little flick to the far post, it's a very dangerous thing because it catches people off guard. They didn't have they didn't have a guy far post to sort of corral it and knock it on frame, but it was a great flick.
Miles Avery is out of Georgetown as well. Both him and Helfrich are. But Miles Avery, 7 games, couple of starts this season. Started the first 2 games of the year after he had concluded the season prior in 2022 really well. Starting and playing in 4 of the last 6. Ryerson with a quick touch. It's found Anchor in the middle again. Ryerson eyeing Hellard in the center. Never really quite got to him. Keeping his run was Toshi Davis. He's been pretty impressive tonight.
He's very quick and very good on the ball. He's a dangerous guy.
Davis, as we mentioned, junior out of American University. They just continue to push talent there. Zach Samuel, the head coach. They were just in the championship game not too long ago, a few seasons ago. This year they made it to the Patriot League tournament again, ended up falling first round, but continue to turn heads in that Patriot League. It's because of talent like that.
One of the other things that's happened in the Mid-Atlantic Conference this season that we're all excited about is, all of us that do youth sports or follow the college game in the Mid-Atlantic area know how deep the talent is. The DMV is very blessed with high-quality players and lots of really good soccer being played.
Pepper crosses!
Wow.
A touch by Mitzelfelt couldn't be sent in.
Jack will want that opportunity back. That's a beautiful ball by Kevin Pepper right there. But one of the things that happened this year is we now have the majority of the teams in the Mid-Atlantic Conference are clustered around the D.C. area, so within about an hour of each other. There are 2 outliers, Virginia Beach City and Grove United out of Richmond. But what it means is it creates opportunities for some rivalries because well, number one, a lot of the guys know each other, but number two, the distances, it's, maybe 45 minutes or an hour to get to each other's home field. So you can, as you see Annapolis did, there's a bunch of blue out here. Well, we're blue too, so I don't know exactly who's who, but lots of opportunities for rivalries to develop when you're playing in close geographic proximity.
Well, the delay that you can see right now is Mitzelfeld has stayed down. He's had a couple moments tonight where he's tumbled and hit the deck pretty hard.
So that maneuver that the trainer's doing on him looks like he has a cramp, which I would expect to see, again, a hot, humid day, working hard, scoring that great goal in the first half, but that's probably a cramp. But, yeah, look, are we making a change here?
Indeed. So Annapolis just made one. Izzy Usta coming in for Luke Dunn. So his day is completed, and as you mentioned, Mitzelfeld has worked his way off. The new man on for Frederick is Ethan Glazer. So Mitzelfeld, who scored in the 19th minute, tied things up at 1. His night is completed. Ethan Glazer, who is a sophomore over at Mount St. Mary's, now joining the fray.
16, Ethan Glazer.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Ethan can do with his minutes. He's a big, strong, mobile kid. I think his freshman year, he had a really strong year.
3 goals.
Yep, and physically to try and deal with a guy like that when you're tired, that could be a real advantage for Frederick. We'll see.
Has a little bit of height to him, stands at 6 foot, and now may get an opportunity here. Immediately is involved. No whistle there. Well, the change for Annapolis, as we mentioned, Izzy Usta. He's another UMBC guy. He hails from Germany, but he is actually a very fascinating story where he had a season-ending injury back in 2021 there at UMBC. Returned in 2022, ended up playing in every game, started nearly half of them. And actually got on SportsCenter top 10 play for one of the goals he scored for the Retrievers.
So there's a lot of UMBC talent on the field.
A lot
tonight.
of it. .57.5 played, 2-2. Glad you're with us here tonight on YouTube. Christian Taylor, Boeske. Very interested to see where the rest of this evening may take us. Ryerson asking for it. It's shot at him. He had already planted his left foot. And Annapolis can take over. It's been a fairly decent defensive effort by Annapolis. They haven't allowed the chances inside. Both of the goals for Frederick have come from well outside, beating the keeper.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. The Annapolis, some of their best chances have been when the entire team has advanced, again, that front third of the field, and then with precision and poise and calmness, knock balls through and then found the answer. And Frederick's chances, I mean, they've had good chances. Some of them, there have been some restart opportunities, certainly some opportunistic things, a keeper too far off his line. But as this game opens up, because the guys get tired, you're more likely to see chances like that than the other. Ooh,
another chance fired in. Takahashi had started it off, but Matias De Jesus, he's been good all night. He breaks the deadlock. 3-2 for Annapolis.
Scored by number 10, Matias De Jesus.
Brilliant finish. Frederick needed to be able to get pressure on this ball.
Just couldn't clear.
Not quite enough time. It sort of deflected off, not sure who that was, his thigh, and bounced out and just crushed that volley. It was a heck of a finish.
Noah Kump did get a hand to it, but it was thrown in with such pace. And now Annapolis, with 30 minutes to go, have a 3-2 lead. De Jesus has been really good tonight. We mentioned he's a sophomore, just finished his sophomore year over at Maryland. He played down in the Towson area, attended Loyola Blakefield actually didn't play in his senior season for injury, but he played over at Baltimore Celtic with Mike St. Martin, who's now currently the Christos head coach, but 3-time National League champs there, 3-time national qualifiers, 2021 Maryland State Cup champs, and now has his goal tonight.
It's interesting that you mentioned Mike St. Martin, because he, his daughter, many years ago, before she became a swimmer, played soccer for us. Mike is generally from the area, over in Mount Airy, where actually FC Frederick's soccer complex is being built. And his sons are been very talented guys.
Yeah, Brett St. Martin's fantastic.
Exactly.
And many others.
Yes, yeah. And Mike, I'm pretty sure played at Frostburg, but it's again, one of the things, it's nice to see so many people that I actually I didn't realize he was with Christos, but what a great choice because of his connections, and Christos is an amazing program. Christos was actually in the NPSL for, I think, a year or two, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and they were, when they were here, one of the top teams as well.
Yep. That's right. They played against Frederick, I believe, in a couple of championship games here in this Mid-Atlantic Conference, at the time known as FC Baltimore.
Yes. Yes.
61 minutes in. It's a 3-2 lead for Annapolis. They did have a 2-1 deficit at one point, but they got right back into it. They tied it up not too long before the half. And now they have their 3-2 lead. Both teams have had leads. There have been ties. Out left for Robleski. He started this whole evening off in the 16th minute. Kicks it in with his left foot. Ryerson tracking back. Right-footed shot. And it was always curling, but a good look. Waiting for the next couple of changes for Annapolis. So it is Giho who comes off. Toshi Davis comes off. We'll announce the switches here in just a brief moment. Looks like one of them is Francis Meyer. Another one is Loxan. Which is that other UMBC man that we were just mentioning.
So one of the other things, this would probably be, we'd have to put our historian and stat guru Sheldon Sheeler on it, but the other thing I've always found interesting about the NPSL teams in this geography are the different leagues that the players come from. Certainly schools, colleges are one part of it, but there's probably 5 or 6 different leagues that are represented out here in the field. The America East, UMBC, the A10, we've had, I don't think we have any this year, but we've had guys from Georgetown, some great A10 schools out there, LaSalle, just St. Joe's, many of them. But
yes.
Anyway, it would be an interesting sort of stat to run to see all the different leagues represented here.
Number 4, David Ankra.
So it is Haven Thomas replaces Daniel Ankra. Thomas just finishing up a freshman campaign at D2 Millersville. The Marauders.
So I'm excited to see Haven on the field. Haven grew up playing for FC Frederick, and a very talented kid, but just finished his freshman year. So he's young, and this is what this level is about, giving some young guys an opportunity to see minutes with experienced guys on the field in games with high stakes. Anyway, so we'll see how he does.
Into the center here for Annapolis. And play will be halted offsides on the other end. 65 played. Things just getting a little more interesting as the night continues. Right here on the left for Takahashi. Popped up in the air. Looking to bring it down here is Pepra. Now in a good area again. Glazer was nearby.
Well,
Allegro booting it.
Golden opportunity right there. It's too bad it wasn't converted.
Well, every chance that Frederick have, they certainly want to take it. Again, that was one of the keys of the game before this one started off. There's another look at this.
Wow. Again, I don't think Colin's going to be thrilled with plays like that. I think this is a talented young goalkeeper, but still learning some aspects of the game at this level. There just is a bit of shakiness. He's also made some very good plays.
He's very aggressive, that's for sure. Foul by Takahashi on Yowell. One more glance at it. Now Frederick to try and start it up. Andrenico, we've talked about him a little bit. He's played at a few different schools, played over at Wilmington University, as well as Frostburg State, where he started his career, played 17 games there, and should be en route to St. Francis, PA. The Red Flash. Ivan Thomas in the center. He's trying to go a quick give and go with Pepra. Never got back to him, but it is still Frederick ball. Inching in on that final third. Glazer with the touch. It was a little too heavy. The slide out and play continuing. Annapolis can try and break. And pinballed around is De Jesus. And a yellow card, the first one of the night, belongs to Cole Hellert.
Just a little bit too aggressive there into the back with Cole. It's hopefully we don't see much more of that. But one of the things, as the guys get tired, sometimes that last little step that they ordinarily could rely on, the muscles aren't firing and you bump a guy rather than running by him. So, but I think you're going to start to see the next 20 minutes here, things open up, some end-to-end things.
As Annapolis might be trying to close the door, but Frederick trying to get right back in this. Down one now. There's Meyer, just recently come on. Here on the right side, Usta thinking about it. Meyer heading it, but didn't get the right touch.
Very good opportunity, and he probably wants that that opportunity back. He really didn't have anyone near him. If he just had set his feet maybe a little bit better, connected with his head. But
well, you talk about DMV guys. Francis Meyer is one of them. He's from Johns Hopkins, second team All-Centennial Conference this season. At a first team in 2022. 4,600 minutes in his Blue Jays career. 64 games, 4 goals, 4 assists.
Yeah, we talk about division levels a little bit. Certainly you have this kind of default understanding if you say the word Division I of a certain level of player. The reality of it is there's so much talent out there right now that there's just not room for all the good players to play at Division I teams, particularly because there's a lot of foreign players that find their way onto those rosters as well. So Hopkins is another perennial, really strong national contender, actually both men and women.
Yes.
We mentioned Christopher Newport.
Messiah,
earlier.
if you go up the road.
Messiah,
yep.
Fantastic. I mean, there was, this is a few years ago now. Actually, I'm dating myself, maybe as long as 10 years ago now. But there was a spring season when Messiah, they either tied or beat Maryland, right? And it was one of the years that, Maryland obviously is one of the national powerhouses.
Watch out, Meyer is in, and it somehow stays out for the moment. Another save, Kemp. Wow.
Amazing.
Kemp got right down and kept it out. Should have been 4-2.
Sometimes the soccer gods look favorably on you.
About that little back flick by Wagner, it did just enough, and the point-blank miss by Robleski. Kump went down.
Hope Kyle looks
He gets
his
back
leg
to his
got
feet.
hung up on the goal or something, but it looks like he's okay.
Trainer's going to come out just in case. Goodness me.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's one of those things. We'll probably get a letter into the NPSL asking if FC Frederick is using the force field technology or something to keep goals out of the net. That was, I don't know how that didn't get in, but it did.
Off the post, and then a weird little touch by Wagner, and then the save by Kump. He just kind of sat on top of it. And Wagner, you see, is being helped off, and they're just going to make the full change anyways. So his night is concluded.
FC Frederick substitution. Coming off
And
13,
a new substitution for Frederick, which we'll see Sean Weiland come in, junior out of Division III Juniata.
So very excited for Sean this season. FC Frederick actually has 2 levels of what we call our FC Frederick Pro program. Our first team is the NPSL. Then we have another team of college guys, good players that are playing in essentially an under-23 league. And Sean has been the backbone of that group for a couple years, and we've been watching him, and Rob decided this was a year that we needed to get Sean in with this group. He's actually a club teammate of Carson Grove, a club and a high school teammate.
Osta trying to build up some steam. Oh,
Wow.
Nearly deflected in.
That was also unusual.
And Drenica came across to seal it, and Loxan nearly kneeing it through. It stays 3-2.
Yeah, so this is that time of the game, Christian, where unusual things can happen because fatigue sets into play, plus guys that aren't tired at all, that are racing around, have energy and ideas, and it's going to be hard to predict.
Coming off number 10, Robbie Ryerson.
Few more swaps. Robbie Ryerson's night is done. He has a goal. Well, that will certainly be one that he remembers. Michael Dempsey replaces him.
Coming on, number 11, Michael Dempsey.
Alec Robleski exits for Annapolis. So too Taku Takahashi.
So it'll be interesting to see if Frederick can find Dempsey with the ball. He's got very good speed and quickness, and you'd have to tell me if Annapolis' left back has been subbed because a fast guy against a tired guy can be an interesting matchup.
Just did there. Takahashi
okay, so you got 2
is
fresh
out.
guys in.
Yep. Takahashi's had some wonderful moments here tonight in the slide out in Drenica. There's one more glance at this. Just as the new man on, Mikey Ravel had an opportunity.
Tackle right there.
Yep. Mikey Ravel takes in that spot perhaps of Robleski. It continues for Frederick now on the left side. Can they try and muster up here? Still with Pepra. I'll center things up in Drenica. Directing a little bit of traffic here. Lobs it right back where it came from.
It's a very nice ball.
Cuts inside here. Looking for a shot. Deflected and grabbed by Allegro.
That was a good adjustment the keeper made because deflections are really tricky to understand where they're going to drop and how they're going to spin.
Good look there for Carson Grove, who's caused an issue or two over there tonight. About 15 minutes to go before we reach the full 90. Looked like James Barrett was under some pressure there. He's one of the new men on. He just finished up a sophomore campaign at Radford. Team only won a few games this season. They're trying to build up that program. They had lost some players with transfers and graduation a few years ago. Meyer, Loxan, Usta's the intended target, offsides.
It looked offsides, so sometimes it's funny watching linesmen. There's a little bit of a delay before the flag goes up and everybody starts yelling, and he's just waiting to see, you know, how the thing plays out or whether there's advantage or who knows.
Subs aplenty right now. Cole Hellert concludes his evening. Had the yellow card, but did so much in that midfield.
FC Frederick substitution coming off, number 7, Cole Heller.
And so on for Frederick is Mac Long, junior out of Shepherd. They're in Division II.
One for FC Frederick, number 5, Mac.
So Mac
Long.
is very talented.
Loxan is in, another save. Compy tries again, a third save. Third save that really prevented another massive goal for Annapolis in the last few minutes. It does stay with the Blues, but
so
wow.
Kump right now is keeping FC Frederick in this game, and story's a little bit unusual. We didn't really know him, but he's actually in the area staying with his grandmother for the summer and was looking for a team to play for and is doing just a great job.
That's right. Grandma lives up there in Gettysburg. And he's played, at least coming into this night, 170 minutes, 6 saves. Started his collegiate career over at USC Upstate. And will be attending Lipscomb this year. This is De Jesus curling. Oh, wow. Just second of the night. Annapolis lead 4-2.
Fantastic strike. On the replay, you probably will be able to see the bend that he's able to put on the ball just around the wall. Not a lot that Noah could do with that.
Well, Kump has had some brilliant saves in the last 5 minutes, but there was no way one could stop that one. Brilliant again by De Jesus, who has stepped up to the plate time and time again tonight. He's been involved in 3 of the 4 goals at least this evening.
Yeah, it's for people that know the game well, a well-struck restart that's been around the wall. It's one of the really beautiful things to see about the game. It just takes so much talent and awareness and skill to be able to do that.
And that now gives Annapolis some breathing room. Again, game not over, but a tall mountain to climb for Frederick. Towards the sideline. Wait for the throw in for Sean Weiland. Came off the bench against DMV Elite. This one given right back to the Blues. Loxan has Usta to his right-hand side. That's where he looks to go, but wasn't quite the way that he intended it to be. A yellow card quickly flashed back. I believe that might have been towards Mac Long. And things kind of opening up in the back now because Frederick need to push up numbers to get the goals back, and Annapolis are exploiting them.
You are spot on. That's one of the things that Rob is wrestling with right now. When you're 2-1 up or 2-2, you think that maybe this is the type of game you can get some points out of. And so the instinct is to try and get back in it, but it's the risk, of course, is that as you open up, it creates opportunities for Annapolis.
Well,
I'm not sure
after the referee was just talking with Kump, about 4 or 5 Annapolis Blues came sprinting in towards the referee, and now the Frederick players join in too. Just wondering if, so he set it down inside the box here.
I tell you, it's an interesting camera angle because the resolution, you could basically see what all the guys are saying.
So he set it down here. Is it going to be indirect inside the box? Something that you don't see too much here. Indeed. That's inside the yellow there.
This is very dangerous. Obviously, we've seen their ability to bend the ball. This is a little bit tricky because you don't quite have the distance you need to bend a ball, given where the wall is going to set up.
I believe I know one way that starts up is perhaps just a pass to your keeper and he picks it up.
Oh, in terms of what caused the indirect kick? I don't know the answer. So this will be some kind of trick play that they try.
He has to hold tight here. Have to wait till somebody touches it. De Jesus might try to do something with it. There's the touch. De Jesus up and through.
Yeah, he'll be thinking about that one. I think they might have been able to do something a little bit more effective. Well, of course, he got the bender earlier, so
yes.
He can't be too disappointed.
That's one that you just can't and don't really practice. Yeah. The indirect from inside the box.
Sometimes what you'll see in those situations is a bigger pass, like there's two guys that were standing in front of the ball to screen the wall, a bigger pass to the left so that it's completely passes the wall and somebody running in to shoot.
Goalie change for Annapolis. So Owen Allegro, his night is done. Saxon Walcott comes in. He's another Maryland guy. There's some trouble in the back. Does do enough to get it out of there. Pepra angles the header towards Glazer, and he can't pick it up. Now Usta, he's caused some problems on that right flank since he's come in. Glazer leaping up for it again. It bounces into the center for Meyer. Annapolis just really putting their foot on the gas pedal even more. 82 minutes gone. 4-2 is the lead for Annapolis. Loxan dispossessed. It's a good touch by Thomas.
It's always interesting, the last piece of a game when subs are coming in. So one of the things when you start a game, you have to be thinking about managing your effort and energy level to fit the number of minutes that you're expected to play. Whereas when you come in as a sub with 10, 15 minutes left, you can literally go flat out all the time to try and, pressure and cause problems. So it's a hard thing kind of to figure out how that's going to play out.
FC Frederick substitution.
Frederick. A little bit of the possession now. So there was a swap for Frederick there just moments ago, right? As Annapolis take over, Usta takes it in, getting towards the box here, does enough with his left foot, and Kump leaps to his left. So the switch for Frederick, it is Daniel Barrett coming in for Dylan Nestoruk. Daniel Barrett's a youngster. He's committed to play Division II at Lynn University. Coach Ryerson told me about him before the game. Really excited for the opportunity that he may have tonight. Talented kid. First season here with Frederick. He's going to be doing a lot of good things.
And Rob has worked with Daniel as a youth player. So, again, this connection between two coaches that are involved also in the youth game and know the players that have come through the DMV over the last few years, and Daniel being one of them. He's young, but we expect a lot of him this season, but really more in the future too.
84 minutes played. And Saxon Walcott will have some of his first involvement in the game. He's played at the DC United Academy. He's trained with the first team as well. But this season had his first ever start against Navy. Played all 90 minutes there. Had a start, played all 90 against Ohio State as well. Well done, just to keep it here. Hit down on the right side, Michael Dempsey losing the handle, and now a foul perhaps committed by Mac Long. He's already on a yellow. And Annapolis are looking for that second yellow, and the official perhaps with that one last warning.
Yeah, we weren't able to see the replay there. From where we're standing, it looked like he timed the tackle well, but maybe the referee saw something else.
Let's take one more glance here. So it started with
the
Dempsey.
first play.
So that continued. And then
Didn't
came in
quite
at the
get to the
back
tackle.
end.
Yeah.
To the center. Frederick knocking on the door. Dempsey popped in. Pepra had to be turned away. And Drenica to the left. The idea was there. And it's a whistle that will favor the home side. Glad you've been able to tune in here tonight on YouTube. Christian Taylor, Bo Eske. And a free kick for Frederick. Jonathan Yowell sets it down. This is going to be so important in the grand scheme of things if Frederick want any other look here in this game. Yowell will just go for goal. And this angle didn't seem too far away.
Might as well. I mean, I think it's if it's 5 yards closer, Jonathan may even put that one in. Just a bit out of his range for a shot like that. But he's very dangerous on those restarts.
Seen that so much tonight. Third year with Frederick, his 21st appearance here tonight. Remember that first goal, his first Frederick goal, scored last year against Virginia Dream in a 2-2 draw. Dempsey is another Millersville guy. He just finished his junior season. Just escapes a little bit, and Barrett goes into the back of Loxan, and look out. And Annapolis players coming to the aid of Loxan, including primarily Nicholas Shirley.
We'll see what the referee decides here.
And a red card to Daniel Barrett. Wow, he had only just come on. The youngster had about 2 or 3 minutes here in his Frederick debut and is sent off immediately. Just see the aftermath of it. I believe the official just showed red because of that. Didn't completely get out of the way of Loxan.
Yeah, trying to navigate his way out of that tackle. He was used his legs in a way that was dangerous, and I think that's what the referee saw.
Probably some contact to the head as well. And straight red given to Daniel Barrett.
Daniel is young. He'll learn and get better. You know, Rob will help him.
And so if it wasn't a deeper hole anyways for Frederick, it has just gotten even further. Now down to 10 men with the final couple of minutes due up here. Annapolis are almost there. Try and stay perfect in NPSL play this season. So because of the red, the delay is if you're shown red, you have to be escorted completely out of the vicinity. And so Daniel Barrett has to head back to the locker room. And so they will be given the green light now, Annapolis. 2 goals here in this second half, both by Matias De Jesus, who's been brilliant tonight, had a goal in the 60th minute and then a curler for a free kick in the 77th to really put on the hurt. Frederick still haven't quite been able to recover after that. De Jesus tumbles.
That's the right call. That was a foul.
Set up here at the center of the park. Overall thoughts as this night is coming to a close, really for both of these two teams.
So I think for Annapolis, right now they're the gold standard in the league. I think they're what they've showed here to, again, the tight spaces that we talked about in the final attacking third. Some very dangerous guys on restarts. You know, the subs that they brought in, there really wasn't a change in level. I think they'll be pleased with this result, with some things to be concerned about. The chip over the goalkeeper to try and help him understand that space a little better. On the Frederick side, I think you're never happy with the loss, but I think there were decent periods in this game where they can look back and see that they were doing some really good stuff. And for where they are in their season, I think they'll be excited and interested to start playing the next couple games and then focus on the home match or the away match at Annapolis in front of all those fans. And I think they'll have some confidence. I don't think they're going to leave this game thinking we were outclassed or anything. I think they'll just understand, the strengths of Annapolis and maybe try and scheme better. And maybe there's a couple of other guys that we have in the mix that game as well.
By the way, that reverse fixture is Sunday, June 16th. That's a 5 p.m. game down in Annapolis.
And I would encourage anybody, Frederick fans, anyone who's sort of randomly watching this match, to try and get to an Annapolis home match this season. It's they really put on a first-class show. Everything about the venues is great. Scoreboard, the fans, the broadcast, concessions, all of it. It's really a first-class operation.
It really is. Just at least to go down and experience it. And that is the final whistle. After that yellow card was shown to Indrenica, Annapolis come into Frederick and pick up a 4-2 victory. Final stats, shots finished as 20-11 for Annapolis. It forced 9 saves for Noah Kump, who was actually brilliant tonight. It could have been worse without him. He made some brilliant ones. Fouls were 12-8 more for Frederick, and offsides were 3-1 as well this evening. Corner kick 7-5. Annapolis had 2 more. And that is really how this evening concluded. This passage of play is brought to you by Griffith Energy Services, your trusted partner for all your heating, cooling, and fuel needs. Whether you need reliable heating, oil delivery, expert HVAC installation, or emergency repair services, Griffith Energy has got you covered. Well, what is next for these two teams? May 31st, Frederick hosts Virginia Beach City FC. We will have you with that one here at St. John's Catholic Prep for Annapolis. They are home against DMV Elite on Saturday, June 1st. That is what is next for both of these two teams. But that'll just about conclude it for us here tonight. Maybe the big star of the game, Matias De Jesus, had 2 goals in the second half, which broke the deadlock after Frederick did such a nice job scoring from distance a couple of times. They got a Robbie Ryerson goal this evening, and they got a Jack Mitzelfelt goal. The first 2 goals by Annapolis, Alec Robleski and Brady Giho. That is how all the scoring rounded out. But that will conclude it for us here tonight. For my partner, Bo Eske, and for our wonderful crew here, Zach McClung, Terry McClung, running the cameras. Paul Garza, our man behind the scenes, running everything as well. I'm Christian Taylor saying so long. Thank you to all of you tuning in for our first ever inaugural broadcast here for FC Frederick. But it finishes Annapolis Blues 4, FC Frederick 2. We'll see you next time, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening.